Happy Sunday night, everybody. Welcome to episode 13 of Knit on the Fly, Travel Madness. So, for those of you who have been wondering what the episodes would be like without much travel you've seen in the last few weeks, you will not be disappointed this week, as travel was absolutely crazy. So, welcome. Episode 13. 13 doesn't bother me. I was born on the 13th. It was not a Friday. It was a Tuesday. But 13's always been a good number. It was my number for a couple years in softball, and yeah, it's a good number, so I think it's actually good luck rather than the other way. So let's get into it. Jet setting. Last week, those of you, and I know I'm going to say the weather's awful. It has no comparison to what's been going on in the Midwest and the South with the tornadoes and the loss of life that's been going on, and I'm very glad to hear that most everybody on my Plurk and Facebook has fared pretty well. No one's been hurt. There's been some people I know have had some flooding in a little bit, but no one's been hurt or, worse by the storm. So you guys keep being safe down there and listen to the weather and stay safe. But the weather for me was awful flying-wise. So don't take it the wrong way that I think my weather's worse than anybody's, because it's really not. By the time most weather gets to Boston or Maine, it's kind of broken up. It starts approaching the coast, and as it approaches the coast, it starts to lose some of its steam. So it's usually not quite as bad when it gets to us. So when I say the weather's awful, it was awful for my flying work situation. Starting Tuesday, which is my Monday, that's my first long day, I ran into an 8 and 24 issue. It's a rule and a regulation from the FAA that states that no pilot can fly more than 8 hours in a 24-hour window. But it's a sliding window. So like every minute that ticks by, that window moves, a couple more minutes. So I flew 7 hours and 53 minutes, and we left super late because Boston was fogged in. So that means that all my flight time was squished into a very small window, which meant the next morning, because I was at 7 hours and 52 minutes or 48 minutes, whatever it was, when I wanted to leave at 6:45, I didn't leave till 9 o'clock the day before. I couldn't leave until almost 9 o'clock, almost 8:30 the next day, because that window would slide, but no flight time was coming off. So it's as confusing as it sounds. We have computer programs that track it because it gets so confusing. So what that meant was my first flight in the morning was delayed. My second flight, my third flight, my fourth flight were delayed, and the last two ran on time. There's nothing we can do about it. We either cancel or we run it late. So we ran it late, which is, most of the time my connections were good. There wasn't an issue, but it still sucks. You hate to get to the airport and hear, oh, your flight's delayed for flight time issues, for crew duty issues. Nothing I can do about it, but... So Wednesday was the same thing. I had a late start Wednesday, which was great. I got to sleep in an extra hour. But the same thing, every single flight, delayed 20 minutes. Nobody missed connections that I know of. They all had good connections, but don't book a 40-minute connection, please. Take the one that's 2 hours later. It covers all the little nooks and crannies. Delay, maintenance delay, taxi delay. Just don't book anything less than like an hour and a half. Oh, I mean, you can. It's legal, but I just wouldn't. So Wednesday was the same thing, just very delayed. Everything got pushed back. Thursday, crew scheduling came to the rescue and they gave me a break. So it was great. So I left Rockland. It was foggy. It was a half a mile, which is the bare minimum to go in or out. I left. 45 minutes later, it went down to a quarter of a mile, which is not legal. So there's no flying, and it stayed that way until 5:30 at night. So we canceled 5 flights on Thursday. So here's where it gets interesting, and this is where my travel madness comes in. At least now it's starting for me. I was going to Minnesota on Friday, and they canceled my last trip to home on Thursday, and my first flight out on Friday, because we had no airplanes. Thursday was a nightmare. Turbulence, it was windy, it was just fog everywhere, in and out, blowing back and forth, up, down, back. Winds were switching. Everybody was miserable. Someone reported severe turbulence, which someone asked about that last week in reservations on the Ravelry thread. I'll get to that. But that shuts us down. So, hi. Welcome to the podcast. Please don't put your butt in everybody's face. At least look at him, and if you're going to be cute. So, he's going to hang out. Awesome. So that shut down everything south of Boston. Hyannis, Nantucket, the Vineyard, I don't know if Petetown went or not, but everybody else shut down. So that means the plane that they borrowed from me, because the other one broke, went to Nantucket but never came back. So when the fog lifted here in the evening, I had no airplane, which meant I couldn't get home, which was a total suck, because it was Jeremy's last night at home for the week, and I won't see him again until next Thursday. So that sucks. It really sucks the big toe. So I was very upset about that. He had dinner all planned. So I was going to drive to Maine, get my stuff, and drive back to Boston. Love makes you think, just ridiculous. So I get Jeremy on the phone, and he says, "That's ludicrous. What are you doing?" And I said, sorry, my notes went away. I said, "Well, I want to come home." And he goes, "You're going to drive 4 hours, get here at 10 o'clock. You're going to sleep until 2. You're going to get up and drive back to Boston?" He goes, "You're going to be exhausted. It's going to be dangerous." So my honey spoke truth. Oh, and I know he wanted to spend time with me, and he even said that. But he was right. Like, it was just, I would have done it, though. I absolutely would have done it. But he said, "Are there any more flights to Minnesota?" And I said, "There's one more in a half hour." He goes, "Go. Get off the phone right now. Call me when you get to the gate." Okay. So I ran to my locker. I grabbed my emergency kit, which I should have brought in here. It's actually a bag from Sharon Dreyfus at She Knits. It's one of her felted bags. And it's my emergency bag down in Boston. So it's got a little thing of deodorant and shampoo and one of those little travel toothbrushes and an extra shirt and a pair of underoos and socks and stuff. So if I get stuck, I'm not totally stuck with nothing. Because I've got hard contacts, so I need contact solution. I hate when people drink because I feel like I should keep talking, but I gotta have a drink. So Thursday was crazy. I went sprinting to Terminal A, just running like the dickens. I don't have a bag, so now I've got my knitting bag, I've got my emergency bag, and I've got my my purse. So I'm just like looking like a fool in my uniform, just running through the terminals. And it's a good haul because the terminals. Ouch! Sebastian's attacking me. Ow! Stop it! I know. But so I ran to the gate. I'm like, "Do you have time to get me on?" Because they've got to do there's a bunch of checks they have to do in the computer, make sure I am who I am, that, that we have an agreement and the whole 9 yards. So the woman was nice enough to take the time to get me on, and I got to Minnesota. I was frantically trying to figure out where I was staying. My sister was busy, and my cousin was busy, and my aunt was busy, and I was going to drive to my mom's, and ended up staying as my cousin, which worked out fine. I went shopping. Everyone was working on Friday, so I went shopping because I had no clothes. So I went to Target and got some pajamas, which I found a great pair of these awesome loose pajama pants. Oh, he's chewing on my arm. That's awesome. Sebastian, what are you doing? Okay, see, this is what he does. See this? These used to be connected to the project it was on. Isn't he nice? Oh. I can't even splice it because it's acrylic. You turd. That's why he attacked my leg, as I had yarn hanging down. So anyway, went shopping. I went and got bare essentials Thursday night. Friday morning, I went and bought a pair of jeans and a shirt and a bag to carry all my stuff in because I kind of had stuff spewing everywhere. And spent the whole afternoon with my sister. We had lunch. She's got an iPhone. I've got the iPad. Oh, I love spending time with my sister. She's fabulous. So, yeah, so I got to spend the whole afternoon and evening with her. Went out and had waffle fries at the Penalty Box, which is a little sports bar just down the street. Her boyfriend had some family commitments, and he came after that to say hi. And went back to her house and fell asleep talking to the wee hours of the night. It was fun. I miss my sister deeply, so it was great to see her. And then Saturday I went shopping with my cousin to get a dress for her wedding. She's getting married in August. That's the blanket that I need to desperately get working on. And we found we needed to get a dress. So we looked at Macy's, didn't like anything. Bloomingdale's didn't have anything we liked. So we went to David's Bridal. We don't really like the big box stores, but it is what it is. So, yeah. So we, I think I tried on about 20 dresses, 25. I tried on so many dresses, it was insane. Short, T-length, longer, mid-length, mid-calf, long. She didn't want long, she wanted short. So we started with some short dresses. We found a couple she liked, but they're in yellow. I don't wear yellow. It makes me yellow. I have a bad complexion for yellow. So it was really hard to see these dresses in black when it's in yellow. And I look awful in yellow. So we finally found a dress. It's a very cute little bubble dress. It was on Plurk. I'll post the picture in the show notes also. But it was successful. We got done way earlier than I thought. I sprinted for the airport again. You know, it's like Home Alone, like knocking people down as you go through. Missed the flight. I just didn't get there in time. So I took the next one. Got a seat with a spot next to me. I knitted for a while. I crashed for a while. And really needed the nap. I slept really well both nights, but sleeping on a plane, man. I'm out. I get right by those engines. Not when I'm working. I have too much going on when I'm working to sleep. But when I'm riding in a nice comfy seat with legroom, I take a nap. So got to Boston. Missed the last flight back from Boston to Rockland by about 20 minutes. So I drove. Rented a car. Drove it one way. Got in about 11 last night. Slept in my own bed with kitties going crazy because they wanted to play. And today I got some stuff done. Got a lot more to do tomorrow. But that was my week. Did I get it all? I did. Okay. Wow, I'm at 12 minutes and I just am out of jet setting. Did I talk too fast? I must be talking really fast. I'm surprised no one's complained to this point. So I'm kind of a speedy talker. I'll try to calm down. Okay, en route. La Vie de Bois socks. Not even going to show you. Vanilla socks. The La Vie's got to get done. They're supposed to be for my mom's birthday. In 3 weeks. I got to get going. I got to get them done. I remember once I really found a rhythm on the first sock. It just flew. Sorry. And I just need to do that with the second sock. So those are for my mom, but have not worked on them. Vanilla socks have not even touched. Sheldon blanket, which is what the little butthead was chewing on, the turd bucket, is more than half done. You see it? So that the cream line is half. So it is making great progress. The only bad thing, which is a good thing, is that baby came. Baby came Saturday of Easter. So baby is here. It's not done. So that's the first thing to be done. But luckily that's just garter. So it's just knit till you're blue in the face, which I can do without looking. So I can watch podcasts and vidcasts and watch videocasts, listen to podcasts, watch TV, read, whatever I want to do, which is awesome. Heidi's blanket has made no progress, but that will be being actively talked about here very soon. Landing, sister, not Landon, landing. We had a discussion about my mixed accent. Is the February latest sweater. It is unblocked and does not have buttons on it yet, but I went shopping last week at Windsor Buttons in Boston and got these fantastic horn buttons. They're beautiful. The cat's tipping stuff over. So I will have some fantastic buttons. So it's not quite finished. I need to block it first, and then I'm going to add the buttons. And I did not weave in this end because I want to show you. I use exactly as many skeins as they said I would, and that's all that's left. About 4 feet.